which I know you are familiar with, and that is reported speech. Under reported speech, that is when we repeat what somebody has said. We have two ways of doing reporting. It's either you report exactly the person's word, or you paraphrase what the person has said in your own words. When you report exactly what the person has said, it is now direct report. But where you have paraphrased, that is using your own words, it is indirect. So when we talk of direct report, you report in the person's word exactly word for word what he has said. And to do that, you mark off the speaker with a comma, then enclose the person's speech in a quotation mark. So here you have the teacher said to the students, keep quiet. The boy says, Mom is calling you. So here now, Mom is calling you is enclosed with quotation marks to show that it is the boy's exact word, not the reporter's word. But when we come to indirect speech, there are many changes. We now go to those changes for us to understand how we now do the indirect speech or the report in the indirect form. In indirect speech, which is the other form, I can faster than my mind. In indirect speech, which is the other form of reported speech, we report in our own words what the speaker has said. So in this case, some of the words are changed to reflect the speaker and the time of speech. For example, the other one I have here, the teacher said to the students, keep quiet. Now reporting, the teacher asked the students to keep quiet. Then the boy says that Mom is calling me. You notice here now that I have you in that sentence. It has changed to me. Then here again, where I have the teacher said, I now have asked, because if you look at that statement from the teacher, it looks like a command. So he's either commanding them. So to make it simpler, we now use the teacher asks the students to keep quiet. So some changes take place when we make a speech, reported speech. So we have some other verbs. Apart from the verb said, we also have something like ask and other words, tell, that is told. These appear in the reported speech. So in reporting, we normally change some parts. For instance, I said the speech is introduced with verb said and that. Or other reporting verbs, like I said here, I have, you will notice something which I will explain later. I have says here and not said. I will explain that as we go on. Then I have now ask, which is another form of reporting verb. Notice that here now, I don't have the comma and the quotation marks, because now I am reporting in my own words, not the speaker's exact words. Speech, we have a lot of changes. You have, for instance, here, all the present tense change to past tense, and present perfect changes to past perfect. I have example here. The boy said, I come to school at 8 o'clock. This is in the present tense and probably in the simple present. They are reporting this as indirect. The boy said that he came to school at 8 o'clock. Her mother asked, have you eaten? Have now is in the present perfect. You now have her mother asked her whether she had eaten, or asked her if she had eaten. So have here has changed to had. There are other changes. This one will come to it later, where we have detailed illustrations. Then, but a situation whereby eternal truth is involved, or what we call universal truth, we do not change it. For instance, in this sentence, Galileo has lived and gone. but what he said still remains. So we have Galileo said, the world is round. Galileo said, the world is round. Now, in reporting this, I will have Galileo said that the world is round. Reason, the world is still there, and nobody has disproved Galileo to show that the world is not round. So based on that, it's what we refer to as universal truth. It is there, and it has not been changed. Under one, the preacher said, Jesus loves you. Jesus has not stopped loving us. So we can now report it as the preacher told us that Jesus loves us. Or the preacher said that Jesus loves us because Jesus still loving us. For instance, I may say I am a teacher, and somebody reporting what I said will say she said she's a teacher. I am still a teacher, and probably I will cease to be a teacher when I must have retired or I'm dead. That is when now you can say she was. But for now, it remains she is, not minding when I said it. So I believe in that case we are clear with this. Then, in the same way, where the introductory verb is in the present tense, the speech is reported in the present tense. If you remember my first example where I said, the boy says, mom is calling you. Because of that says, which is in the introductory part, I now reported, the boy says, mom is calling me. Then, another one is pronouns and possessive adjectives. In the first person, we definitely change to third person. For instance, if you remember my example, I am a teacher, and somebody reporting it will now say, she said that she is, so I now has changed to she. So in that case, if I now have, like now I said here, my changes to his or her, our. So if I now have I, can change to he or she. The same thing. So again, in the present tense, that is what we illustrated at the beginning. Has, we change to had. Are, will, shall, should, may, might, can, could, and so on. These are some of the changes. So we have been talking about changes that take place in reported speech. So words denoting nearness in time and place becomes when denoting distance or remoteness. For example, now becomes then. So if I now have the saying or the expression, the teacher said, he is coming now. If I'm reporting it, maybe after some time to another person, I will now say, the teacher said that she was coming then. So in the same way, this becomes that, today changes to that day, yesterday to the previous day or the day before. Tomorrow becomes the next day. So while we are changing the speech from direct to indirect, we'll be able to know which one follows next. Then, the clause containing the verb saying in the past tense sometimes indicates what kind of statement was made. So we have such words as urged, replied, ordered, demanded, inquired, advised, suggested. So if in the statement you have saying and you have the verb say, so you find out that in reporting, the situation might change that you have any of these verbs to denote the message conveyed by saying. Then note also that while we use the word say, or in both direct and indirect speech, We use tell, that is told, mostly or only in indirect speech. In the same way, we have to be very careful how we use some of the other speech words. For instance, it is not proper to use the word groan in indirect speech, but it is correct to appear at the end of a quotation. I have an example. I think my leg is broken. He groaned. Then, if the direct speech is a command or a request, then the indirect speech is introduced by told or ordered. Then don't in direct speech becomes not in the indirect speech. Maybe in the next class we do some illustrations in these tenses before we go into a new topic. Thank you.